Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bake Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun live at 1 o'clock instead of 12. I was still teaching a class here at Yarn Fest in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, having a good time, enjoying getting to know people. And I wanted to give you a view out my window on the 16th floor. Isn't this spectacular? Gonna have to overlook the air conditioners on the building, but here next to us, but you can see the mountains in the distance. You can see really far, even though it's a little bit hazy here. And excuse me, I just had a quick lunch. And let me go ahead and leave that there. This is such a pretty view. So thank you for joining me today and for being flexible. I don't have a huge agenda and I literally have nothing to show you. um, I have all my stuff I left in the teaching room downstairs. I'm here at the Marriott Hotel in downtown Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Had a beautiful drive yesterday through the countryside, and just a nice, relaxed trip. It was just nice not to have to, go through an airport. I love flying, but it was just nice to be able to get in my car and take a leisurely drive through the countryside, just a couple hours away from home. So let me go ahead and see who's in the chat today. Hey, Cynthia, thank you. Thank you for the reminder of the thumbs up for those of you who want to like this video. It will help it to go a little bit further. And Brat's mom, thank you for joining us. Hope you're feeling well, Linda. I hope the heart thing is doing well for you. You're still on my list, girl. And Denise, so glad that you can join us. And Jewel, excuse me, and Wanda Gordon from Bahama, North Carolina. And Michelle, she said, I thought I was late, but I am early. Yes, I am late. I am 1 hour late, but I didn't want to miss our time together. I wanted to just, even if it's an abbreviated time, I just wanted to spend some time with you guys. And warm and muggy South Dakota, headed from Sioux Falls up to Aberdeen to load, then off to McAllen, Texas, way down at the southern tip. Oh my goodness, you have ahead. You're going from top to bottom of the continental U.S. That's amazing. Have a safe and wonderful trip, Phil. I would love to make that trip. That would be just fun to just load the car and go. And Susie, so good to have you. And let's see, is it from Montreal? I'm going to mispronounce this name, and I apologize in advance. Is it Jean? Janae? I'm the Anna from Sweden, and love to craft. Wave and Sandra. She says, hi, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone. Hope you all had a blessed week. Yes, we did. And which reminds me, okay, Hannah says she's getting a lot of buffering. I apologize. It's probably the internet that we're using here at the hotel. I apologize for that, guys. But so thankful for you all to be here regardless. Let me see. Let me check in with Hannah for a second. And let me just check with her to see if it's still buffering. Okay, she says it's better. Well, we're just going to have to go with what we have here. That's the disadvantage of not being in Maryland at home is I'm away from my high-speed internet. All right, so I've got Hannah pulled up so she can send me any questions you may have. Let me go ahead and drag this back a little further. Okay, there we go. Oh wow. So Phil, you drive a truck? Did I miss something there? Wow. Okay, thank you, Hannah. Hannah's keeping me posted as to what how the broadcast goes as far as the buffering goes. Hopefully it's cleared up at this point. And Sandra's saying she appreciates Phil and Appreciate you and all the truck drivers. I'm praying for you and all the truck drivers a safe trip. Yeah, thank you so much, Sandra. And Lynn, so good to see you in the chat. She says, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank the Lord." You says, "Okay, thank you." Yeah, thank you, Lynn. No, I'm at the hotel. Excuse me. I'll be here through tomorrow, and then Sunday morning, gonna head back home and hopefully get home in time for my church service on Sunday morning. It's only a couple hours away, 2.5 hours. So I'm just going to catch a quick breakfast and head on back back home. I would try to have considered driving home Saturday, but there's the opportunity to hang with some people for a meal. I definitely want to do that. So and just to let you know, if you are in the Lancaster area, they are still taking you can still sign up for classes. It's a very interesting experience. It's different than what I anticipated. And I must say that up front, I was expecting more yarn. There's not a lot of yarn here. I was really disappointed in that. But there are many, many bead vendors. Apparently they've blended Bead Fest, which is what's been happening here for many years in Lancaster this time of the year. So they have the biggest collection of beads I've ever seen in my life, and I have seen a lot of beads in a lot of places. This tops it all. So it is really like Bead Fest, and they've added in Yarn Fest with that. So we're kind of the little guys in this particular venue. And they also have some fabric quilter vendors as well in the marketplace. But there are classes for beading, classes for quilting, classes for painting. Yeah, fine arts painting. Classes, of course, for crochet and knit, all in the same place. So if that's something that might you might enjoy, like in the future, like maybe you're married to somebody who likes painting but not so much the crochet, they do have both. And so it's covering a wide span of crafts here. But I was a little disappointed that there weren't more yarn vendors. I thought there would be a lot more. But on the flip side of that, one of my students named Doug said that he had been here a day or so earlier than me, and there are like 3 or 4 really excellent yarn stores within a short drive of the hotel. So that's a good thing. And I may have to check them out later this afternoon. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I think what I'm going to do is just walk around town and just kind of take in the storefronts in the charm of this place, because it really, really is nice. And maybe tomorrow, I don't know, maybe this evening, maybe drive a little bit in the country around Strasbourg and places where there are a lot of Amish farms. So, excuse me, just had my lunch. So, anyway, let me go ahead and just say hey to some of you guys. You are the main thing for today, because I just haven't done that in a while. So let me go ahead and get back to that. Swati, happy Friday to you too, Swati from LA. She says, hope everyone is well with fun plans for the weekend. Yeah, my weekend is set here and really enjoying the time. And I'll be, just to let you all know, I'll be broadcasting, I hope, next week from South Carolina. So as soon as I finish up here, go home for a couple days, then I'm going to go visit Hannah for a day or two before she goes back home to Maryland. So lots of travel on the docket for the next month or so. And we're still on baby watch, just to let you know. We're still waiting for the baby barkers, or actually they're not barkers, but one of them is, but the other is not. So anyway, we're still on baby watch, just to let you know. I'll let you know if there's any news there. You guys will be some of the first to hear about it. Thank you, Wanda Gordon. Yes, it is a beautiful view out the window here. I could just sit here all day. And that's actually what I did. I came up here with my lunch, and yeah, I don't like to spend a lot of time running around looking for food when I go to different places. And I like Subway, and I like their They're submarine sandwiches. So I actually got a big one yesterday, had them cut it in two and wrap it two separate sandwiches so that I could just have that for lunch and visit with you guys. I'd much rather do that than just chasing around, um, for getting something you just don't know what it's going to be. I'll probably be doing that for supper though. Anyway, hey Denise, it's good to have your wave there, and Nancy Brewer, so glad to have you join us, and Heather, yeah, she says what a charming view. Yeah, it's very nice. And Pelo, okay. Just hello, I'm about to go to sleep. I want to thank you for the wonderful tutorials. My pleasure. Thank you for joining us. If you're going to sleep, I'm guessing you are maybe in Europe somewhere or on that other side, across one of the ponds, maybe. And then we have Loretha. Thank you for joining us. And what a beautiful name. And let's see. Oh, we have somebody in Arab, writing in Arabic. How wonderful. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm sorry, I don't read Arabic, but maybe Hannah can translate that for us. But that you are so welcome here. And Margaret from Tacoma, Washington. Ooh, that's a long way. Um, and Sandra from Southern California. Wow. Oh, wow. Nancy says, nice to have such a nice video to watch from the hospital bed. Oh, Nancy, I hope you are better soon, my friend. Um, you can always, email me, bonniebay@me.com. Let me know how I can pray for you. Uh, Being in the hospital is a blessing, I know. but wow. I mean, remember one of my pastors saying something about, I'd rather, I won't even get into it, but just being in the hospital can be hard. So I will pray for you. Um, and Gloria from Texas, she said, I'm sorry, I'm late. Not a problem, Gloria. I'm late today too. And Pam's Projects and Liz, she says, I'm still making that sweater you just put out. I hope it's coming out okay, Liz. Just whenever you guys work on my tops and things like that, have a top that fits you nearby so that you can constantly compare. Okay. Don't want any surprises at the end. Make sure it fits you as you go along. But I hope that works out for you. And did Hannah? Oh, I don't know if Hannah. I don't know if you mentioned, but thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that reminder. Thank you for praying for Hannah this past week. She passed, and she passed well. She did well with her classes. So thank you guys. We weren't sure how that was going to turn out, and it wasn't because my girl isn't smart. It's because a lot of different things. Um, some teachers are really good, and some teachers are really smart, but just have a hard time whittling it. I don't know. Just all I got to say is we are thankful that she made it through these classes. Very, 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 very thankful for that. And Hannah, you rocked it, girl. And being the first time back in school after like 10 years, that's a hard thing to do. And I will say I was so proud of her because towards the end, not only did she do well in her math class, she was tutoring other people. She was helping other people who were even old, who are on the older side, like the older generation, hadn't been in school forever. And I was just so proud of her that she was helping others. And by helping others, it helped her to study for the exam. And so thank you guys just for your care for my girl. I so appreciate that. And let's see. Yeah, Anna says, congratulations to Hannah. Thank you, Anna. She says, beautiful oldish buildings outside your window. Yes, this is quite a historic district. Very, very, very nice. I'm going to just walk around it though, because I tried driving around town yesterday and finding a hotel. I was not comfortable driving. This was made for buggies and horses. It was not made for cars. So I'm leaving my car parked in the garage, and hopefully it's secure, and just leave it at that. And Red Hook wants to know, what top am I wearing? Oh, thank you. This is the uh, what is the name of it? Um, I think it's a summer top. So if you would just look on my in my playlist for sweaters, it'll be listed there with the sweaters. Okay, I can never remember all the names. After a while, they just get kind of confused in my head. And Kelly, so glad that you can join us today. Um, she said, I have a wonderful surprise yesterday. My niece and her husband and kids came by unannounced, and I haven't seen them for a long time. Oh, wow. I hope that was a blessing. That's great. Um, and Swanji, hey, so good to see you. Um, I haven't seen you here in Lancaster. There's still time. Hey, I'm available this afternoon. So yeah, you can text me or email me, bonniebay@me.com. And definitely yeah, let's get together if you want to. I'm wanting to walk around downtown later, maybe after the live, and just to see what we can see, or maybe even just walk around. I think I'm going to go downstairs and walk around the marketplace again because I really do want to give those beads another look and just look and see what I can find with yarn. I don't need to buy yarn, you know how that goes, but I'm always on the hunt for something different, something new, and just to be able to encourage the yarn vendors who have invested to come here. I would like to just talk with them and maybe if I do see something that I can add to my stash, that's always welcome. um, and Bonnie L, so glad you could join us. um, she said, for some reason, I thought there wasn't a live today. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I would be able to go live today. Uh, August is going to be touch and go. So, from week to week, if you don't mind just checking in the community section, and I'll try to post whether, I'll be able to go live or not. I know there is one day coming up. I think I'm not even going to speculate. Just if you don't mind just checking week to week. And if you haven't joined my newsletter yet, I will definitely be letting you know in the newsletter. I sent it out on this past Wednesday. It's mostly just a newsy thing of what's happening, designs that are coming out. And if I'm going to go live and what my intentions are, I'll try to let you know in the newsletter as well. It's free. And just for those of you who don't know the way I work things, I do not sell my newsletter list to anybody, period. I respect your privacy. That is just for sending out the newsletter. It will not be sold to any organization, period. Okay. I treasure my privacy and I want to honor yours as well. And the only way that I can send that out is if you sign up or give me permission to send it. And if you go to bonniebay.com or bonniebaycrochet.com, both of those will get you there. Excuse me. And that information is also no, it's not in the video description because I haven't put it there yet. I will put it in the video description once this video is done. I was scrambling a little bit to get back to the room and get things all in order. Yeah, so I will have that information in the video description, but it's just bonniebay.com. That'll get you to the homepage, and you may have to click on accepting cookies or responding to the cookie thing that comes up on the website. That'll happen the first time you ever go to my website. That is not something that, well, just in a nutshell, that's to be in compliance with the regulations for having an online website, just to let you know. So you have to pick the way you want the cookies to go and etc. But just to let you know, we don't sell information. Just wanted to be very clear about that. So Kelly says, it looks like a gorgeous place. I'll let you know. I think it is. I think it's very nice, but it has been very hazy here. We've gotten a lot more of that Canada air from the fires kind of drifting down. So, it's a good and a bad thing. I mean, the downside is it makes it a little bit harder to breathe. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of haziness out there. the other side about it is it made driving a little bit easier because the sun wasn't real bright. But I guess it would be healthier to have the bright sun. But it is what it is. But it's just very beautiful here. A lot to see, a lot of really good food to eat if you kind of get out, near the farms and everything. Okay. And let's see. Oh, we have Tammy from North Alberta, Canada. I hope you guys are doing okay, Tammy. Just talking about your air coming down this way. And yeah, Hannah's asking me if I'm going to be wearing a face mask when I go out walking. I'm probably not going to be out that much, Hannah. I'm probably just going to stick around the marketplace. I'm not going to be out that much, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I did have the windows up yesterday and driving. I didn't put the top down or anything. It was just yeah, I did definitely breathe in the filtered air that came into my air conditioning unit. And oh, okay, is this Inez from Egypt? Oh wow, so glad you could join us. I so wish I could see your country. Um, but I have really amazing news. My sister Brenda is going to get to visit your country next fall, and I couldn't be happier for her. She's taking a similar trip that my husband and I took last fall, which was a cruise um, to Israel and Turkey, and the Mediterranean, some places in the Mediterranean, and the Tyrrhenian Sea and places around there. So I'm just really excited that she's going to get to do that, and I'm so excited. But anyway, she's just going to get to see Egypt, and I'm going to be so jealous, but so happy for her at the same time. And Julie, she says, hello, love Lancaster, PA area. Yeah, it's nice. Um, and Gloria, I'm not sure I understand the comment. No, and it could have been an autocorrect thing here. No need to spoil eyes for technical things. Okay, I just probably don't understand that. I'm sorry. Um, oh, thank you, Lynn. You are so sweet, encouraging my girl. Oh well, okay. So Phil, okay. So you are a truck driver. That is so cool. Um, Nancy says it's horrible to have to deal with anything other than high-speed internet. I tell you what, Nancy, we get spoiled rotten, don't we? With this. Remember the early days when it would take like a couple of minutes for just one page to load? Remember those days? Yeah, I do too. um, I wasn't doing a lot online back then either, and that's probably why. And Rita, so glad you could be with us. She says, I'm new to live chat with you, but been a fan for a few years. Oh, thank you, Rita. So appreciate that. This is kind of an unusual time because usually I have all sorts of goodies to show people, and I have absolutely nothing physical. Just wanted to just some things to tell you. But I do want to thank you guys for your support with the latest design. I can't even think of the name of it. Bonnie Starburst Throw. It's the one with the different shades of purple and white. It's doing so well. Last I checked, it was. Let me check to see. I think the algorithm has picked up this video and is now recommending it. And the only way that happens is if you guys initially really go for it when it comes out. It's up to 15,000 views, which is amazing. So thank you guys for your help in helping it the algorithm to pick it up and recommend it. So what that means is if enough people like something at the same time, then the algorithm says, maybe people like this and we should recommend it to others. And it's really hard to get that to happen on a video. It happens once in a while with my stuff, but it's not every week and it's not super common. But apparently it has picked it up, and it's like it's doing well. So thank you guys for the little, just for taking a look at it and checking it out, for giving it that thumbs up. And I don't expect that on everything that I do, but thank you for your support. It is having an effect, and it does help. Um, does help. It's giving it more of a reach, and whenever that happens with a video, more and more people will find out about the channel, which doesn't just help me business wise, and I'm thankful for that. But even beyond that, keeping this craft alive and well from generation to generation is it's my goal. I mean, that's what I want. I don't want people to get bored because they're having to do the same old pattern again and again and again because they don't know anything else or whatever. I want them to learn new stitches, just to keep it interesting, to help with the brain development. Yeah, even as we get older, just having our brains occupied with things and using our hands, it's so important. Have to be careful not to overdo it, that. But it's just so important. And if we can just pass this on to the next generation, that's my goal, is just to keep it alive and keep it healthy, keep it well, keep people learning. And I know you guys who make things with your hands like to give a lot of that away. I'm not saying you have to, but I know a lot of you do that because you love somebody and you want to bless them. And there's nothing in the world like being able to make something with your hands and then give it to somebody. It's such an amazing, it just fills our tank. You know what I mean? It just really fills our heart with good things. And anyway, yeah. I don't know why I launched off into that, but thank you guys for being here, and thank you for again helping the reach of the channel so that more people can just learn a craft that can bless them and bless others, and it blesses a lot of yarn, small home industry, uh, small owned businesses. With the indie yarn dyers and spinners and all that, it's a win-win for everybody. And Jacqueline, she says finally live from Los Angeles. Yay. And Michelle, it's like morning, sorry late, had groceries to put up, very hot here. Oh wow. You're not late, we're not really. I was the one who's late again. And Marcus, so glad that you could join us. She said, I hope you have a great time. Thank you so much. Yeah, so far it's been very relaxed. It's fun. Very low key this time because of the numbers are, not as robust as they would have been, let's say, at some of the other conferences right now. Not sure why that is, but yeah, it is what it is. I will take it, and it's an opportunity for me to just have more of a low key time away, and that's fine too. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a busier day for me. Tomorrow I have the 2 fuller classes on the cabling, so I'm looking for that. The I Love Cables crochet class is close to full. But if you're in the area, like I said, and you want to sign up, you could probably still join that. I think there might be a couple seats left. The big and bold cables, I do have a couple seats, more than a couple, probably 5 to 6, seats left in there. And just to let people know that the classes are pretty, the rooms are big. We can spread out. We're not on top of each other. So, if anybody has concerns about COVID or whatever, you can certainly wear a mask. I think you'll be fine. Laretha Dixon says, any ideas of how to get out of crochet slump? I want to crochet again, but cannot get back. That's a great question. Is it Laretha? What a beautiful name. That's a good question. Sometimes just hold on, let me get this back. I'm thinking sometimes just stepping away for a little while is okay, and just do something different for a little while. Try not to feel pressure that you have to get anything particular done. I mean, hopefully you don't have any, deadlines that are facing. Okay, Hannah, I'm going to have to look this up. Okay, so I'm trying to think. I would just say step away for a while and just do something else. And then when you do decide to come back, uh, maybe just try something entirely new and different that you haven't done before. I'm trying to get the name. Let me give me a second here. I'm going to try to get the name of this top that I'm wearing. I'll get the link too once I find it. Okay, you can look under summer crochet. Is it there? It is under summer crochet. It's called Summer Popcorn Yoke Top. And let me get the link and I'm going to stick it in the chat. There's also a left-handed version of this. I just put it in the chat. I will tell you about the yarn a little bit. It's really probably my favorite yarn right now to date, and until I find something better. This has been the best yarn. Um, it is Universal Yarns Pop Sock yarn. It is a fingering weight yarn, and let me show you. Okay, without trying to not be too immodest, but what I like about this yarn, and with the wattle stitch, let me show you something. There's a lot of elasticity in the actual fabric, and it makes for a nice, not super tight, but it'll shape to you. You don't have to shape the stitches to you because that is really hard to do. Um, but you basically are crocheting, when you get to the part that goes around, you're crocheting a tube. You're just going around and around and around. It's also a no sew top. There is no sewing involved. It's purely crocheting in the round with the yoke. And then when you come around here, this is just a chain stitch that connects this to the back. And it's very easy to adjust the width for this. I do talk a lot about that. I did mention this a couple weeks ago. There are numbers there that you can follow to get the sizing. But as I said many times before, there's nothing magical about these numbers if you're off gauge and if that's not the size that's going to fit you. So what you can do is adjust the width by simply adding chains underneath to add width to the sweater, and you can size it to you. And again, if you're making a sweater, always have a sweater that fits you the way you like it, or a t-shirt or something, and constantly compare to make sure that this is similar enough so that it will fit you. And I always try them on. After I get the yoke and I do the underarms, I go ahead and try it on to see, okay, am I going to like that? Do I need more? Do I need less? Is it covering me up here? Is it showing too much? Do I need to adjust that? So, these are things that you can do. And with the wattle stitch being, you see, the main body is just wattle stitch, which is a single crochet, chain one, double crochet worked in the same space. It's very easy to just add different numbers in. It's just really a multiple of three. And even if you're off by one or two chains, you can kind of work with that and just skip one chain instead of two. You can make it work. Okay. Uh-oh. Now listen, if I missed anybody's comments, I just want to say up front, I'm sorry. I'm not skipping anybody intentionally, but just to let you know, I'm trying to get everybody here and just to say hey. Kelly says her phone's not working. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Kelly. That can really that's hard these days. Isn't it funny how really 5 years ago, 7 years ago, it wouldn't have mattered, but now everything, our life is on our phone. Oh, it's crazy. Um, okay. Oh, okay. And and Michelle is asking about Hannah. When do you take your test? I guess to get results. Yeah, she got her grade. She did well on both of her classes. She's good to go. Is it Meritor? I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry, I mispronounced your name, but Um, is it? I'm sorry, my brain is having a hard time processing this. Mary? I know I mispronounced that. I'm so sorry, but I'm so glad that you can be here. And Susan says, "Wow, I love Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's been years since I've been here. Last time I was in this area, my kids were little or a lot younger. They were living at home, so it's been a while." And Nancy says, "Inquiring minds want to know." Yeah, she did real well, Nancy. Thank you so much. Uh, and Hannah says passable grades. Yeah, they were more than passable, Hannah. They were excellent. They were fine. And Kelly says, "I'm going to get a new phone, but I'll still have the same email address." Good for you. And Melanie Lewis, hello to you. Um, and was it Madhu? I hope didn't hurt that name too much. So glad that you're here. I need to go take a class called International Names 101, and maybe add a geography class in there as well. Yeah, and Donna, she says, "Hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone who loves crochet and yarn. A bit hot in Ohio." Ooh, and I just got a bunch of comments just loaded here. I am really falling behind, guys. And Terry, praise the Lord, you made it through. I knew you had this because God was by your side. And she had so many of you praying for her. Thank you so much, Terry. Yep. And I wanted to say this too. It was not necessarily a fun ride for Hannah, getting back into school. I hope this is okay, Hannah. And yeah, there were some tears back and forth and trying to get this thing done. And yeah, she didn't have the best English teacher. She probably had the worst English teacher. And I'm not going to say any names, but if you go on to ratemyprofessor.com, he has one of the lowest ratings of many different people. So it's not just something we're making up or making an excuse for. Some teachers are great. Some teachers should probably find a different profession. And he is one of those, unfortunately. But it's just amazing to me how the good Lord uses this to strengthen us, and I see that with Hannah. It made her, buck up and do her best. um Even though she didn't like it, she did her best. She did what she needed to do. um and she's stronger for it. If she had just walked into their class and got an easy A, it would have been great, but she would not have learned as much as she has learned from what she went through with this teacher. And learning to actively process when you are confronted with somebody that's just not nice. And instead of internalizing all that negativity, just kind of, I don't want to get too psychological here or anything, but just pushing back and say, no, I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to do what I need to do, but you don't have to like me. That kind of, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but you know what I mean. When there are people that are just totally unpleasable, and this was the situation. Um, okay, thank you, Hannah. Hannah's saying, in his defense, this teacher was good at teaching his subject, but he doesn't do well with empathizing with students who don't understand his teaching style. Yeah, but apparently, Hannah, according to the people who posted online, the majority of the people don't understand his teaching style. But all that to say is, just learning to push back on the negative feelings, because I know a lot of times when we get into this uh, difficulty, we can be our worst critics. And not to say that we don't need to change at times. I'll be the first to say that, yeah, I mean, I lots of areas could possibly get better and I could change with the Lord's help. But sometimes you just need some wisdom to just kind of push back, or just to remind yourself that this is not the only thing that defines who I am. And I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know, but it was just really good to see Hannah um, get through this, and not just not just survive, but thrive, in a different way, not necessarily in the subject area, but just just being able to emotionally get through this, and we're moving on. And I just so appreciate her attitude in that. And it's and as a mom, I'm growing alongside her with this too, because and as if you have children, you know what I mean. If you have someone can come and starts criticizing my kids, it's like, I know that they're not perfect, and oh, I got I know more than you don't know half of it. But just the idea, no matter what, we still want to rise up and protect them where we can. And so anyway, you know what I'm saying. If someone's beating down on one of my kids, you might as well just come beat on me too, because it feels like the same. But anyway, we're glad that that class is done. And again, I just see growth. I just see growth beyond words in Hannah, because of going through that rough experience. So anyway, just some thoughts on that. All right, I'm going to back up here now that I've done my monologue. um, ah, oh wow! Thank you, Hannah, for interacting with folks here in the chat. Ooh, thank you, Phil. He says, here's an address to my favorite yarn shop in the Lancaster area. I'll have to check the chat. If Phil, if you don't mind sending that to me in an email, bonniebay@me.com, I would really appreciate that, so I can see which one you're talking about. Maybe I can visit that. Yeah, Michelle saying, yay, her youngest is getting her certification for computer analysis engineer after three other, okay, I'm guessing BS. Yeah, so yeah, she did the same pass. Yeah, it's so much. It's so much. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? And okay, so I think I finally figured out where I was, which I'm way behind again in the chat. And Marrier, I know I'm butchering it. I'm so sorry. Just I'm trying to learn English from Kazakhstan. Wow, wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. And Terry Redmond, so good to see you. Pray all is well. Hope you are keeping cool. Yes, ma'am. Um, Lynn says, looking at the scenery through the hotel window looks like the TV show Peyton Place. Oh, wow. It's really cool because there's a steeple here. There's a steeple over there. There's some other older looking things. I think I can see three church buildings just from where I'm sitting here. It really looks nice. It's just hard to drive around down there because they're all one way streets, and you just never know where to turn or how to get there. Um, all right. Yeah, Kelly Hart says we're supposed to get more thunderstorms tomorrow. Yeah, it looks like we might get something here. I'm not sure we are or not. We got a little bit of rain yesterday here. And we have Wildflower 2000 from Utah. Wow. Welcome to our chat. And Sandio, good to see you. Um, and Love to Craft, so glad you could be here. And oh, thank you, Wanda. She says, praying for those sweet little bundles to arrive. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're waiting to patiently. I'm almost kind of hoping they come a little on the later side, because I'm not going to be able to travel down to meet them right away. But I'm really looking forward to that day. And let's see. And Wildflower says, I've made several of your tutorials and given them as gifts. Everyone loved them. Oh, that's wonderful. That makes me feel so good. Thank you so much. I am so glad you can find that. And if you ever need looking for something, don't forget, if you go to my homepage, you can do that there's a circle with a very old picture I have up there. If you click on that, it'll take you to my homepage where you can go look across the top, and where you see playlist, you click on playlist. And I have a lot of videos categorized in categories. So you can look through those and maybe find what you're looking for. And if you're just not sure, if you're on my homepage, you can go to a little spyglass, a little search bar, and put what you want there, and it'll bring up what I have on my site. And if you can always email me if you don't find what you're looking for, and I can let you know whether it's there or not. Or if you're looking for the left-handed version of a video you see, just take that same title and put left-handed in the search, and it should bring it up for you. Okay, so that's always I know there's a lot of buttons and things you can push online, but that's kind of what I do. And Terry, talking to, okay, I'm distracted here by a couple of comments. To Phil about for safe travels, and said, my dad retired as a long distance truck driver for 45 years. Wow. Understand the business. Truly appreciate all you and others do. We couldn't have our products without truckers. Oh, I agree, Terry. I so appreciate you guys who are the truckers. And we have Wanda, is a trucker friend of ours in our chat, avid crocheter, a super nice gal if you ever get a chance to meet her. And she did that for many years with her husband, and now after her husband passed, she does it by herself. She travels all across the country bringing us what we need, and we can't, our country in the US, we just couldn't function without you. We couldn't. The pandemic proved that, and you guys kept us all in business. And thank you, Hannah, Sandra, for congratulating Hannah, and Jacqueline. Thank you, and Lynn. Thank you guys for encouraging my gal, and Sandy. Kelly says Hannah is so talented, knowing that she can translate different languages to you and other people. Yeah, she's real good at using Google Translate. That's how she's doing that. And you can do that too, Kelly, if you ever need to find out something, if you're needing to translate something. It's a really, really amazing tool that we have available at our fingertips these days. Something that we didn't used to have when I was growing up. And Sifa, she says, congratulations to Hannah. Wish you the best. I hope I pronounced that one right, honey. I'm sorry if I didn't. And thank you, Liz. She said, the sweater is coming out fantastic. I've continued to try on, and it's fitting perfectly. Oh, I love to hear that. That's good. That's good. Trust me, I've made a lot of enemies with fitted garments. So, I mean, it's not as hard as it may seem, but you do have to pay more attention to the gauge and to the, the sizing. And I think to some extent you have to be a little daring to maybe even change it just a bit here and there, depending on, what you're using. And, should you need to make special adjustments for any sizing, for your personal needs, you do have to be confident enough in crochet to at least, be willing to go a little bit out of the box sometimes, away from the pattern. Because like I said, there's nothing magical about the numbers. That's what I used to get my results. But if the gauge is a little off, it's not going to happen. Or if the yarn that you're using is different and not as flexible as what I used, it's going to be different. So yeah, there are a lot of variables, as they say in math, a lot of variables when it comes to crocheting. Yeah, and Kelly, Hannah took an English class and a math class. Gloria says, I can imagine wearing a sweater in dead of summer. I can imagine it. Sometimes the indoor weather is colder than it needs to be, and I think that's why sweaters come in quite handy in the summertime. Kelly says we should celebrate her victory. Oh, I'm going to take Hannah out when I get down to South Carolina. We're going to celebrate, Kelly. Thank you for that prompt. Yay. And Sandra's happy. Yay. And we have Marie from, I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm going to mess that up. But somewhere in Pennsylvania near Erie. Yay. I said I need to take that geography class. And C. Warren, so glad you're here. Thank you for watching with us. And Sitfa says, we need to buy yarn every day. Yeah, like breathing, right? Yeah. I would just need a bigger house if I did that. Um, and Gloria says, I never need to buy more yarn, but I do every time I can. Yep. And we have, oh, this is great. Not the End Crochet. That is hilarious. I love, I love the name of your channel there. Was saying hello. Well, you are so welcome to the chat. If you have a YouTube channel or something like that, please let me know. I would love to check it out. Um, and we have Beach Girl from New York City says, sorry, but I can't get to Lancaster this weekend. Oh, well. Maybe Pittsburgh. Let me go ahead and hit on those things right now. Interweave will be over after tomorrow at 6 for me personally, and I think for the general conference as well. But have no fear. More conferences are near. Pittsburgh will be August 24th through the 26th, and this is in Green Tree, outside of the Beltway of Pittsburgh. So you're not in Pittsburgh proper. It's going to be easy to get to. Parking is easy. I've been there. I know. I'm going to be teaching 4 classes: beginning knitting for crocheters. Excuse me. There comes lunch again. Okay, beginning knitting for crocheters. I teach the continental style, and it is easier than it sounds. I'm going to be teaching I Love Crochet cables, as well as big and bold cables, and a fun crochet fabric for beginners. I just taught that class, the fun crochet fabric, this morning. It was fun. I had more on the curriculum than we actually got to, but we had a good time, and I'm just really glad folks learned some new stitches there. I'm also going to be in at the DFW Fiber Fest in Irving, outside of Dallas, September 14th through the 17th, Lord willing. That's the plan. And again, I'll be teaching I Love Crochet cables, the big and bold cables classes. Both of these, again, are intermediate classes. All that means is you need to know double crochet, single crochet, treble crochet, and a chain. You need to be familiar with the stitches. I can't take brand new crocheters who've not crocheted much for those classes, because quite frankly, it would just be an act of frustration for both of us. So you need to know how to just crochet the basics and be pretty confident with those. But that's pretty much what I mean by an intermediate. I'm also going to be teaching a class on tassels, fringe, and other knotty trims, and a taking great photos of your crochet. I really think the photography class is going to be a lot of fun. And you will not only learn how to take great photos of your crochet, but I think just crochet, I keep saying crochet, photos in general, just understanding some of the basics, which are pretty easy to understand. But if you hadn't ever had a photography class of any kind, I think it would benefit not just your crochet pictures if you put them up on social media, but maybe your Christmas card photos of your family, photos of anything really. Just it's basic photography. It's kind of photography 101 in 3 hours. So, and we're going to have fun with that. And I do have a really fun tool that I'm going to be showing you guys as well. And that is pretty much all of my news that I have. We are winding down here. It's amazing how quickly the time goes. When I was teaching class this morning and last night, what I do is I set timers to go off on my phone every hour, so that, okay, thank you, Hannah. I do that every hour so that I know I'm aware of the time, and so that we all take a break. 1 hour, I have everybody stand up, even if they want to go on to the next thing. No, we got to stand up, look across the room, focus on something else, walk around the room, get a drink of water if you want. We do a couple fun songs, but it is amazing just how fast the hours just tick off. They just evaporate when we're so occupied. All right. Yeah, Hannah was saying about her classes to Kelly. So the English essay was focused, and there was so much to learn and too many rules to follow. I barely, well, you did better than barely passed, Hannah. But anyway, glad we were already able to use our notes for the final. Yeah, she did very well in that. Um, all right, and we have C. Warren says, okay, I think I read that already. Hello from Oregon. Yes. And Bonnie L says, I keep forgetting about the community section. There are so many things about all these different sites. Like Facebook is another one, and it's mind-boggling how many things that you can push and open up and get involved in. I mean, it's like an endless labyrinth online. So yeah, there's always one more thing that you can learn on any of these platforms. And yeah, hey Najla, so glad that you're joining us. And Bonnie says to Hannah, thanks. It's just my feeble old brain that needs to perk up. It's just a lot. Constant change is here to stay, Bonnie. I mean, quite honestly, I mean, if it's just like my operating system, with the phone or the computer or whatever, as soon as I'm comfortable and I understand where everything is, I know how everything works. They upgrade it and they change it, and I'm just like, no, I liked it the way it was. But I do understand that the software guys are there serving us, and I know a lot of times the updates have a lot to do with security breaches they're fixing, because people are always figuring out how to do bad things. But yeah, it's like as soon as I understand how my computer works, it's gonna change. They're gonna upgrade everything, and anyway. Okay, and oh wow, we have somebody from Russia. Hello from Russia. Hello. I hope you're enjoying the Russian subtitles on the videos. For those of you who don't know, we are now including, I think, about 8 additional languages to English. Let's see if I can remember what they are. Arabic, French, Italian, Persian, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, and Turkish, in addition to English. And so those are the translations that we are including. And this is after the English translation has been totally cleaned up and edited by my sister, a real person who knows English grammar, so that it's not just reading whatever is spit out there by a computer program on the fly. It's been edited. So we did that so that when we translate it, we run it through the translation service for these other languages, so that at least we're using proper English to begin with. Now, whether all the Russian is correct and all of that and all of these, I don't know, because I don't understand how to read Russian. But thank you so much for letting me know that you guys are able to see that. And if you know of other people wanting to learn crochet from these other parts of the world, tell them that I do have titles on the newer videos that are being released. These are the videos that have been released last year and this year. We just don't have the time or the resources to go back and add it to the other 800 or so videos, but we are doing this going forward. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Gloria. Yes, the earlier message, yeah, says yes, autocorrect, which would not let me fix. Yeah, yeah, I understand that. That autocorrect is after me too, in so many ways. One of these days, I'm going to defeat it. But anyway, it still gets its kicks out of sending out my messages right as I push go. It changes it out the door. Yeah, so much fun. Oh, thank you, Denise. She says, "Woohoo! Love that blanket. Thank you." And Pam's projects. Says, yeah, you had to use the phone line to get internet. Wow. And yeah. Thank you for encouraging Hannah Najla. That's so sweet. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Yeah, I've already posted this in the chat. I don't know if I'm just late to the party on your comment here. This is popcorn summer yoke top. And it's on my homepage and it's in the chat somewhere if you can see that. And I'm finally seeing Laritha's question that Hannah sent me earlier about the crochet slump. I'm sorry, I can't come up with a better answer on that, Laritha, but I do think what is that old adage? Distance makes the heart grow fonder. I do know, like, I love my husband dearly, and that was never really a problem. But the pandemic really made me appreciate him in a different way. And I think him, me, just because we were apart for way too long because of, COVID and the governmental protocol that kept us apart for a while, and then caring for his mom and then, 500 miles away from home, and being away for a few months. I mean, it just really helped things. I think it just really made us appreciate each other a lot more. So maybe even just taking a break, and maybe even just pulling away and say, I can't crochet for a week, and just don't pick it up for a week, and just see how that goes. And maybe, um, pick something up just for fun. Don't put any pressure on yourself, any kind of a performancey, pressure. Um, so I don't know if that is helpful or not. And if anybody else has any ideas, how to cure, getting your crochet mojo back, definitely, comment. Um, anyway, um, and let's see. Oh, it's already 2 o'clock. Wow. Ooh, wow. Phil says he bought a bunch of books yesterday on knitting, going to try to learn. Phil, look at my site. I have some beginning things on knitting, and with all of them, I take them very slow. I promise you, very, very slow. So check out, go to the homepage, my homepage on YouTube, and hit playlist and look for knitting. And if you look at any of those, I show cast on and the basic knit and purl, and hopefully that'll help you. But definitely do continental style, because it'll be an easier transition from crochet to knit than if you look at the English style. Okay, just trust me on this. I fiddled with it for years and never got anywhere until someone taught me the continental style, and it just opened up. The sun came out, everything was fine after that. Anna says, I definitely agree about handmade things, Bonnie. It's so nice to see that crafting and buying handmade things is becoming fashionable. Yes, yes, it is. Um, yeah. And Nancy Brewer. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And oh wow, Terry Redmond says, "Amen." Because I used to China paint, but the old masters passed on, and now it's a dying art. So sad. We need to keep up the crafts for future generations. Yes, we do. And there's something good about pulling away from technology. Here I am on technology telling you this, but there's just something really freeing about just pulling away from our phones and our computers, and just, when you're walking on down the sidewalk, having your head up and just looking up and around, and greeting somebody. A lot of times we don't have to wear masks anymore, so we can give away our smile, and just encourage somebody. And it doesn't have to even take a conversation, just a look, but you can't do that if you're walking along like this. You need to look up. And yeah, just and I'm not against any of this stuff. They're gifts, but yeah, I think there is something about making something with our hands besides a text message that's just lost. And I don't want to see that lost on this generation, and beyond. I want to see people, I want to see younger people in these classes. I know it's expensive, and it is hard because of a number of reasons, but I just want to see younger. I mean, I love people of all ages, don't get me wrong, but it'd be really nice if more people would be able to um, just put the phones and technology down long enough to do something different. Yeah. Oh, thank you, C. Warren. So glad that you're here. Yeah, she's so nice to watch someone on here that is a fellow sister in the Lord. Thank you. Yeah, he is everything to me. For those of you who don't know, I am a Christian, and I don't. That's not said in pride or anything. I'm just a sinner saved by grace, and um, that's all I'll say. But yeah, I've been blessed. I mean, God is good, and He's forgiven me many, many, many things, even more than I understand. Uh-oh, Sheila, I'm sorry. He says, Bonnie, my husband said you are not allowed to introduce me to any more of your yarn friends because I spent over $400 at Lamb Shot Kits. Oh no, don't worry, he's kidding. Oh, that's funny. Well, thank you. I hope. Yeah, I know Emily is a good gal, and she's got a lot of fantastic uh, products. I don't share that because it's an affiliate link. It's not. It's just a friend telling another friend where you can get something really sweet. But thank you for helping her out. It is another woman-owned business, and I would have shared the same if it was a man-owned business. It doesn't. It's somebody trying to make a living. Helping their family. So yeah, I'm so glad that you helped her out, and I'm glad. Hope you enjoy the yarn. Um, Oh, I see, Michelle. You couldn't see. Okay, you couldn't see all of me here. It's because of the way I have this set up here. Yeah, yeah. It is. It's the same. It's the same. It's two-tone top. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, and Loretha says, "Okay, no deadlines, just half done projects." Uh, yeah. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty, Loretha. Uh, and Bonnie L says, I'm in the same boat since last December when my arthritis started acting up. Was very discouraged at first, but now believe I'll get back to it in time. I keep all my works in progress in view. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes if you don't like something, you don't have to finish it. You can maybe re um, recoup that yarn for something else. Even I've got projects like that. Um, Not a lot at the moment. I'm still working on that baby blanket, and I actually left it at home because I know I wouldn't have time to work on it here. Um, hey, Jane, so glad you could join us. Um, all right. I think I do need to get going, guys. It's 2:07. I was not able to find an inspirational quote or anything for you today. It was just so much going on, and actually, I can't even find the two books that I usually use for that. I have no idea where I left them. I must have left them in the classroom downstairs. But I just just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you guys sticking with me through thick and thin here. Um, and thanks for joining me in Lancaster from our view from the window. And I am really looking forward to meeting some of you, maybe in Pittsburgh, which is not too far from where. Well, it's a nice drive from where we are. But if anybody wants to join, I know they're still. I think online registration is very active for Pittsburgh and for Dallas. So DFW Fiberfest. So definitely check those out. If Yeah. And so I'm just gonna sign off and say God bless, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week if I can. Bye bye.